Joined now by senior offensive guard Darius Savage here on the Inside UCLA video blog. Obviously, after that win, you guys must be feeling crazy right now. What is what's the energy level, the mentality level out there today after that win?
The energy level is crazy. You know, we just feel like a new revitalized team. You know, it was hot out there. You know, our batteries aren't as full, but we're trying to recharge and come back and just get ready for Washington State as best as we can.
I would say going into that game, you probably had hopes that you could compete maybe. Neuheisel said 3 quarters of sticking around and then trying to make the push in the 4th quarter. Did even you guys expect the throw domination that you put on?
I can't say we expected it. We just knew we were going to go in there and play hard. You know, Coach Palcic has instilled in us, whoever's in there, the filthy five. We're going to go out there and ground and pound as best as we can. So that's what we went out there and did.
You guys had some success in the first half. The yardage totals weren't that good, but you're up 13-3. What did it feel like going into the locker room, up 13-3, but maybe knowing that even though you were up on the number 7 team in the country, you probably could have put up more points?
We weren't satisfied at all because we know we left so many yards out there. We missed a few key blocks here and there, so we weren't satisfied. So that's why we came out in the 3rd quarter hungry.
Speaking of that, I'm doing the big feature for Thursday on that drive, the anatomy of the drive. And you watch it, and I probably watched it 40 times now, just rewinding, doing what you guys do, which is miserable. And so many times I saw you at the 2nd level, but with the same guy, you know, pushing the same guy back 6 yards. You know, I know in a zone block, a pancake is not necessarily a good thing because then that's one
cuts off the line.
Exactly. So how important is it for you guys to maintain blocks and get positive momentum to the 2nd, 3rd, etc. level?
The biggest thing is what Coach Palcic always tells us: keep our shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Because if we turn, we cut off the front side or the backside cut for the running back. So even if we get a pancake, try to get a pancake square to the line of scrimmage because it gives the back a 2-way go.
You know, there were a couple times when Jonathan Franklin cut off you guys. Saw that maybe there was a hole, but probably not the initial hole. And that seems to be something he's thriving in so far, is that cutback. Have you been blocking? I mean, have you seen him change as a running back? Have you seen him mature in that, you know, the way he's reading you guys as well as reading the defense?
Oh, yeah, because actually he's Ryan Taylor's roommate. And so we actually, you know, sit down, we watch film and stuff like that. And, you know, we tell him, like, you know, be patient because we're going to push the man this way and this way. And then you see that, then you cut off our butts. And so it's just been an O-line running back, you know, a whole chemistry. And you can see the changes when we get to 2nd level and how they are more patient making their cuts.
You know, I watched one play where Sean Scheller sealed the outside. You both pulled. You pulled left to the outside, which is probably not typical to see. He sealed off the outside. You went up to the 2nd level, got a linebacker, and Franklin kind of did a little dance and got a couple extra yards. Last year, that probably would have maybe been a 3-yard gain. This year, it was a 6 or 7-yard gain. What's the biggest difference there? Do you think it's just the defense has to be a little bit more on its heels and can't react as soon because of the, you know, pre-snap motion and everything?
Well, that started back in the summer with Coach Lynn. You know, getting us lean and mean, getting us so much faster and so much quicker off the ball. The D-line and linebackers have to respect that. And then with us being able to pound them, they're a little bit more hesitant. And so when we pull, we just blow and go, and they're kind of like, oh, do we got to take the dive or do we just scream out and go outside? Because then again, Jonathan can cut back, so they have to respect the cutback. So it kind of slows the defense down a little bit and lets us get on their blocks. And then when we get on our blocks, you see Jonathan just explode.
Darius, speaking of lean and mean, you cut a bunch of weight. What was the hardest thing? I imagine giving up double-doubles, because that would be the hardest.
Actually, I don't like in and out. That's one thing.
Well, this is over. Interview done.
Nah, I don't like in and out. Nobody can seem to understand that.
I'm disappointed.
I don't know, it just doesn't sit on any. Even when I was little, my mom would bring home in and out, it just wouldn't sit on my stomach right.
It's the onions, I
love onions though. You know?
But what was the hardest thing for you doing that? I mean, you would imagine just the physical toll on your body.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was hard, you know, because I worked out at 6:30 every morning, actually 6 a.m. So, you know, going to summer school, actually I took a math class, so math class, going to school, and then coming back, waking up at like 5:30, it's like. But the hardest thing probably for me was going to bed hungry a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't like starve myself, but like I wouldn't eat the same things as I usually do. So, you know, I would eat, you know, edamame and stuff like vegetables, spinach.
You're an offensive lineman.
I know,
you're not supposed to be eating edamame.
I had to make the sacrifice, you know.
I understand. It's paying dividends.
That was probably the hardest thing.
Darius, last thing for you. You know, for a wide receiver, you understand the idea of getting that momentum. You know, you make a catch, the next play you're just feeling good.
Yeah.
It's the same for an offensive lineman. You make a good block and you say, God, I'm getting this. I know that they're on their heels.
Yeah, I think the best thing as an offensive lineman is if the defensive front runs a stunt and we pick it up and hit them in their mouth, then we come back, then like you can see Sheller and me like give each other 5, or me and Ryman can give each other 5. That's the best feeling.
You know, at this point, you guys are known as the Filthy Five. That seems to have kind of taken on. Talk about the mentality. That's my last thing for you. Just talk about that, the trenches. You know, I was an offensive lineman myself, not a good one, but I was an offensive lineman myself, and there has to be a different mentality. And do you feel like that filthy idea is kind of being taken hold?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the Filthy Five, we would say, because you know you've seen Greg Capella got some playing time, and Chris Ward got playing time, and so who's ever in at the moment is the Filthy Five. You know? So
the Filthy Nine doesn't have the same ring. The Nasty Nine.
Yeah. Well, Coach Palicic is just, you know, he gave us that he kept pounding us through camp, and you know, even through off-season workouts. You know, he would just pound on us like, you know, you guys, I want you to be nasty. I want you to be nasty. You know, nasty and physical. And Coach Lynn also, with him being a former UCLA offensive lineman, he was in our ears all summer workouts. You know, get your extra shoulders in. You know, we cake guys. You know, you get them inside and just dump them.
Yep.
So it just came from.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it just came from the coaches, and so we just fed off of it and took it and made it our own.
Good stuff. Darius Savage, fun game. Fun game. Now you got Washington State.
Yeah.
Put it on? Time to put it on them?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Darius Savage, thanks, man.
All right, no problem.